All right. What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome to 3 Buck Theater, and it is the 14th of April. Not April, fucking August. Why am I thinking April? I literally have no idea why. But anyway, it's another night, another stream. As you can see, we have a little bit of a new of a new outlook, a new design, new layout. I was working on it a little bit today. Not done by a long shot. And so it's kind of surprising. And what's interesting here is what I had set up for the, I guess the initial thing, the initial notification that I'm going live. Apparently, it didn't save as public. It went as unlisted. So cool that anyone's even remotely here. But all right, we've got a lot to cover tonight. There's a lot going on. A lot of crazy things happening. Not the most wild on all fronts. But definitely in regards to movies and in one former Disney star, life is getting real fucking interesting in regards to where she's found herself working. Although I do want to find that particular video. I was talking about Bella Thorne, by the way. This whole Bella Thorne thing is going to be going on with that. But the craziest shit is that there was a video she did with Tana Mongoose a while back, where they were like, I think making out or something along those lines, and I'm not really surprised she's working in porn. To be fair, Bella hasn't been a Disney star for years. That is true. If 4chan has taught me anything over the years, it's that Bella Thorne is no longer a Disney star. That is accurate. They've there's a lot that they like to keep up on, and that apparently is one of them. That apparently is definitely a thing. I always kind of find it funny when 4chan obsesses over a particular person, right? Like a particular act. What is it called? Celebrity, right? Because they've had their favorites over the years, but they always pick some weird ones like Demi Lovato and Bella Thorne. And maybe it's just because I'm like older that I just find that to be weird. I just find that to be very odd when I'm watching when I'm watching this stuff, and I click on 4chan very briefly, very 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 late at night, some crazy, and there's all over feet pictures. Andrew says, "Who the fuck wants to watch Bella do porn? She's not doing porn. She's not doing porn. There's that. She's not doing porn at all. That's something to consider. She's working on a movie. Let's see. Hey, Joshua, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking. Let's see. If you can bust a nut to Bella Thorne, you need to see a doctor. No. If you can, okay. I think any guy here will attest, maybe not 100%. You can kind of bust a nut to anything, provided it's of legal age. And I want to make that abundantly clear. But no, really, you can, this, every dude has cranked one out to a very, not the best thing in the world. You're like, well, I'm here, sort of thing. Demi looks amazing for a heroin user. That's true. That's all true. Vizak says here, we've all had flings with ugly girls at some point. Don't lie. That's true. Jay, we're going to be talking about Bella Thorne and SEGA, and I'll be taking some calls. I did have a topics list, which now that the chat's actually working, normally, like when I was trying to test out the chat earlier today, it was not working the way that I wanted it to. Now it is. So that's good. And if anyone here wants to donate via Streamlabs or Super Chats, you can now see yourself represented on screen. We have the alert set up. I'm working on this one way or another. So Roman here says bust a fluoride filled nut. Don't quite know what that means, but okay. Melancholy says here he left Pornhub for this. Well, dude, that's your own fault. All right. But why don't you go take another 30 seconds on Pornhub and then come back? Because I'm giving you more than ample time. But you were here. You were commenting earlier. You were here earlier, Melancholy Kid. I saw you. I checked on it earlier on. I think around like 10 p.m. or something, and you were already commenting in the chat. So you've been hanging out for over an hour. If it takes you this long to finish, then you should be working in porn. So, but yeah, no. The first topic is going to be the Bella. I was just going to give people a couple minutes to get on in. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But what I love though, real quick side topic is who do you guys think is going to play Jeffrey Epstein in the clearly 28 Lifetime movies that are going to be made on this guy? Who do you think is going to play Jeffrey Epstein? Because as this story unfolds, this is getting into like the craziest Hollywood caper, situation is what it feels like to me. It's the craziest Hollywood caper. And that is going to be very fascinating when that finally gets made into a film. Ben Affleck, Annie Manser says Ben Affleck as Jeffrey Epstein. John Travolta. John Travolta's a good one. John Hamm. I don't know if I'd say John Hamm. He doesn't have the face for it. Like Jeffrey Epstein has a little bit of that like Ron Perlman face. It's the wide mouth, Like Nicholson could have played a good Epstein like 20 years ago. But okay, here's a question. Press 1 in the chat if you think Epstein's alive. Press 2 if you think he's dead. Because I think that's going to be Henry Winkler. Yeah, Jeremy Irons. What about Jeffrey Jones? Jeffrey Jones could do it. I mean, he was already arrested for, I think, pedophilia anyway. Right? He was already arrested for that a long time ago. He, frequent collaborator with Tim Burton and then just done. He just got like totally popped. And you're like, where's Jeffrey? Like, where's the dad from Beetlejuice? Where has he been? And you're like, oh, he's, I think, been behind bars. Chuck Norris. No one here thinks Jeffrey Epstein's alive. No one here thinks he's alive. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna sit there and be like 100% tinfoil on this motherfucker. But at the same time, I can't help but ask that question. Did he really die? Because they release the autopsy and they're like, now there's broken bones in the neck and stuff. It's like, okay, he had paper sheets, right? This motherfucker had paper sheets, nothing to tie it onto, really. And he was able to, and it somehow broke like his bones in his neck. I mean, did he, like, how? These are the things we're going to need to see. Like that security camera footage, if it exists, needs to be released 100%. It's easier to murk the dude than fake murking him. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that though, is with Epstein. I mean, the guy had a lot of money. So I was talking about this earlier with somebody, and they're like, yeah, but like, why wouldn't he be like, wouldn't he be easier to kill? I'm like, yeah, maybe it'd be easier to kill, or maybe not. Think of it like this, and this is just where I go into like total Hollywood script conspiracy, by the way, like a John Grisham novel turned into like a mid-90s fucking made-for-TV movie. This is a guy who very much had the ability to get whatever he wanted, clearly for years. He's got dirt on everybody. He probably, this is the thing, people keep talking about this fucking dead man switch, right? That if he doesn't do the dead man switch, like if he dies, the docs are going to drop. That just makes the most sense, right? That just makes the most sense that he would have some kind of document drop if he was going to die. Because what does he care if he's dead? Fuck it. He doesn't have any children I'm sure he has some children. He wanted to put 30 or he wanted to fill New Mexico with a seed. I could just imagine him like a fucking crop duster, just like rapid fire masturbating out of a crop duster. I can do what I fucking want. The whole point I'm trying to get through here is like, to me, I don't know, like I can't help but like have that little tinge in the back of the head that sits there and says, maybe they faked it enough, because there's that picture of him too. That clear photo of his face, from clearly a high definition DSLR camera and from a distance, enough definition on his face, enough depth of focus on his face. in order to make sure that positive identification is possible. It's the weirdest. Come on, you guys know there'd be some fucking Hollywood movie that's going to do this shit. There's going to be a fucking Hollywood movie that's going to do this. Do I buy the fact that the news dropped on 4chan first? Considering that the government's investigating it, yeah, I actually do believe that, to be fair. I do. I think that it is going to totally do that shit. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I agree that he was a liability. All right, my phone's going off. Where the fuck? Okay. I'm like, where's my phone? I hear it going off. I have no idea. Oh, there it is. All right. So anyway, I'm talking about Epstein. Someone's coming to get me. That's what's going on right now. Like my phone's going all crazy and it's like, you're going to die. You're going to die, Matt. The government's coming for you. You know, I've heard that one before. But no, we don't live in the world of conspiracy theory. You know, we don't live in the world of fucking what's it called? You know, of like the Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts conspiracy theory film from 1997. Where Patrick Stewart's the bad guy and that Mel Gibson was writing tinfoils on everything. You know, we don't live in that world. We live in the real world, and Occam's razor pretty much suggests that this dude is fucking dead. But there's so much there that the movie is going to be great. The movie's, yeah, Alex Jones is going to live off this forever. Ever. All right. Let's take a quick run through the news. Or we can open up the calls. Or I can just open up the calls right now and then just save this shit for later. But let me see here. Where's the first story? We're gonna go look at the Bella. At the Abella. The Abella. Oh, the Abella. Oh, well, there we go on that one. That already fucking switched over. That's not what I wanted. All right. Anyway, fuck it. So Bella Thorne. You guys been seeing this one here. She apparently is directing an adult film, and her fans from Disney Channel's days are shook, according to this article written by Susie Byrne, an editor of Yahoo Entertainment. You have to love that, though, right? Bella Thorne directing an adult film, and her Disney Channel fans are shook. Like, come on. Didn't Bella just, like, drop her nudes a couple weeks ago? There's nothing here that's even remotely like, oh, out of the ordinary. Come on here, we know this. So Bella Thorne is full of surprises, and the latest that she's directing an adult film. The Disney Channel alum and actress, singer, author has partnered with Pornhub for her directorial debut. Her short film. So it's a short film, not even a full movie. I feel kind of ripped off here. I'm not going to lie. This short film called Her and Him, clearly based off of Emma Watson's UN address about the He for She project and, you know, feminism, will be part of the site's visionary director series. What? And the debut at the Odenberg Film Festival in Germany in September. Hold on. Pornhub is creating a Visionaries director series, and they're going to debut it at a film festival in Germany. If there is no scat, I will be so disappointed. So disappointed. Now, she says here that her initial idea was to create a Christmas horror movie, but instead, this is her words, I made a beautiful ethereal film. You know, when I hear the word ethereal in regards to porn, I just think of like squirting because of Cytheria, but it's old school right there, man. Anyway, the film is described as a Romeo and Juliet type story, but of the X-rated variety. The film will feature music from her rapper ex Maud's son. It stars well-known adult entertainment actors Abella Danger and Small Hands. Because nothing quite says an ethereal, beautiful Christmas horror project. Short film made for Pornhub's Visionaries director series. Starring a man named Small Hands. I'm sure it's like a Little John kind of play on that one. Small hands, but, you know, huge wang, right? That's what it is. Now, Thorne did add here that the process of shooting was quite interesting. You think? You shoot a porn. It is interesting. And now what she is used to. Oh, it's more interesting what she was used to because they had real life fucking on set, which I'd never shot before at all. It's quite a fun environment. Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, like, look, sex scenes in movies, predominantly speaking, are simply, closed sets, right? You have the director, you have the cinematographer, the gaffer, the sound guy, limited people on set. Even the gaffer is probably off. He's a lighting guy. He's probably gone. You got like 3, 4 people on set, and that's it. Keeps it very small, very tight. Crew is away. So, it creates a more intimate environment. But this is porn with porn stars, and she's probably just got a decent cinematographer, and she's gonna be like, okay, get up real close. Just can we do a dolly in on the anal? Dolly in on it. Okay, just get real close. I want a tight shot. Okay. Because when that rim job happens, I want to see it. I just need to see it. All right. We're shooting what now? We're shooting in 6K. Fantastic. We're completely going to see his hemorrhoids, but it's going to be amazing. That's kind of how I view this sort of thing. I don't know how you can make a short film and make it be ethereal and beautiful and come off of wanting to make a Christmas horror movie. That's again the world we live in. And some people are upset here, as shown in this some of these tweets from people that are just like, "Oh my God, Bella Thorne will direct the porn film." Look, here's the thing: she's 21. She's no longer working for Disney. She hangs out with Tana Mojo very often. She recently posted her own topless photo. Clearly, she's at that age where she's like not going the Miley Cyrus route of twerking with Robin Thicke, but she's going to be going and exploring her creative abilities in the world of high definition pornography and creating a beautiful, ethereal short film that's going to premiere at a film festival in Germany. To be fair, if it's going to go anywhere, Germany does feel like the absolute best place to do it. And I don't think I'm alone in thinking that. Oh, Cam, I agree. She should have just put the Christmas horror movie. But release that in IMAX? It'd be pretty funny. It'd be pretty good. I would laugh at that quite a bit, actually. It's a fun environment. Well, I mean, I know people who worked melancholy in the adult industry. Like, I get that. So there are people out there that definitely work in that particular environment, and they say that it's a fun, loose setting. You can't really be too uptight when you work in pornography. You just can't be there at all. It doesn't work that way. And I think that's a big part of it. So there's something to consider on that front. All right. I wanted us to go over that one. Now, what we have, I got to get one more image here. Okay. Let me just find. Okay. Because that's absolutely fucking horrifying. Nope. Not the one I wanted. There we go. Okay. Sorry. I had to get the right image here. All right. So, those of us out there who have followed. No, there we go. So those of us out there who have followed this whole situation involving Sonic the Hedgehog in this movie, we know that it's bad, right? We know that it's bad because this is what we saw. And this is horrifying. And this is terrible. And this is not something that should ever grace God's green earth. Doesn't matter if you're religious or agnostic or atheist. This is an abomination unto the Lord. Look at those teeth. Look at those teeth. They're scary. Human teeth on Sonic. It's so weird. But anyway, SEGA here. You figure SEGA, when they sold the rights to Paramount, right? When they optioned off those rights, they would have at least had someone there as a quality control person. It's not really the case. And that's actually pretty apparent when you look at the situation as a whole, especially when you look at this particular article coming in from videogameschronicle.com. So I don't know. We'll see if this is real or not. Anyway, SEGA explains its hands-off role in upcoming Sonic movie. Yeah, it's hands-off role. That's never a good sign. You don't want the developers of the game, the owners of the property, the people who know how to build this, to not be involved, right? I can't be wrong in thinking that or alone in thinking that. Now, it says here, Sega has said it's taking a fairly hands-off role in the development of Paramount's upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog, while other publishers, including Sony, are handling movie adaptations internally. Sega Europe COO and President Gary Dale believes that the filmmaking is best left to the experts. Before we go any further, I'd like to redirect the audience to exhibit number 1. Is anything about this best left to the experts? The answer to that is simply, God, no. That's terrible. Please never show it again, Matt. I want to one day have children. Anyway, so he says here, I think that there's a view that we're very good at making video games and Paramount is very good at making pictures. I mean, like, Paramount at this point is kind of not really like the best person to talk to or the best group to talk to. I think if you followed anything involving Paramount recently, everyone's like, Bumblebee was good. It wasn't. It was okay, but it was like still not a very big profitable film, despite them saying that it was profitable. Star Trek was kind of DOA. Mission Impossible's done pretty well. They haven't really had much else happen. They just haven't. So Paramount is in a bit of a bad situation, which is one of the reasons why they have to make sure that Sonic works. So delaying it seems like the best course of action. Now, he says, I think that the idea that you try to control Paramount would be the wrong approach. Over the years, I look at the success of games, franchises, and film, and it's very mixed. The idea that games makers can control the process and create great movies, I don't know if that's true or not. But it's not hard to look at video game movies, like let's say the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I do unironically love, but it is objectively bad, is complete offshoot from what the game exactly is. So much so that people out there have mocked it for well over 20 years, 25, 26 years now. It's been mocked, rightfully so. The game makers maybe would have done a little bit better of a job, but oftentimes in these situations, the game makers aren't involved in the making of the movie at all, and the movie just gets really, really messed up in the process. I'd like to direct you to any and all Uwe Boll films outside of Postal, which is so irreverent in its own right that the movie was pretty good. If you've never seen it, I actually really highly recommend it. So Sonic's character design for the film was revealed in April and caused a fan backlash large enough to see the movie delayed from November 19th to February 2020 so that Sega's mascot could be reworked. And again, gamers won because this is what we had. I'm going to keep frightening you with it because it's terrible. But this is the reason why gamers fought back. You know, they were like, no, longtime fans of Sonic didn't want to see this design and the movie was going to tank. The word of mouth was so bad, so negative, so terrible that Sega themselves should have been like, no, I think we're okay. I think we're not going to go down that path. I think we're going to be all right. But anyway, now when asked about this decision, Dale says, I think everyone is just keen to do the right thing. Obviously, we had very deep knowledge of the character and the brand. Paramount had a deep knowledge of how to make movies. Okay. And the trick is just to bring those two skill sets together in order to make the best film that we can. To be fair, Paramount has been listening to feedback from the community around Sonic, which of course has got a tremendously loyal fan base with people with a very specific views of who Sonic is, how Sonic should behave, and how Sonic should work. And I think Paramount has taken a lot of that on board. Yeah, they've had to. Because once again, this is what they presented. This is what a committee of artists and executives and filmmakers at Paramount decided was the best look for an anthropomorphic, or I can't say the word, but like a very, very humanoid looking animal that can run real fast and is in Idaho for some reason. And this is what they thought that, was going to make them money. No. But anyway, the adventure star does star Jim Carrey, who recently said that he was unsure how he felt about that because he says the audience being in on the creation while it's happening. He was unsure because he doesn't want the audience involved. And that, look, I get that. To an extent, we all have ideas about, certain directions these kind of things should go. Like if there ever was a Legend of Zelda movie, would Link talk? That is going to be a subject for debate because some people out there want that to be a pure experience of not having Link talk. And other people just want him to say nothing but "excuse me, princess" for the whole fucking movie. And guess what? I'm actually kind of in that particular department. If that's the only line he says, you would have my money. No question asked. You would have my money. I would go. But when it looks like this, you can tell why. You can tell exactly why fans were upset and exactly why fans fought back. And Paramount was in the right to listen, because Paramount is in the business of making money. And when you alienate the people who are going to pay the money, you find yourself in a pretty crappy situation overall. And I just find it really funny that Sega is like, well, we're going to take a hands-off approach because they got the money. And to quote Darkside Phil, all they have to say at this point is, thanks for the money, dummy. That's basically about it. But am I wrong? Right? A Metroid film would be pretty good. A Metroid film would be fine. Well, Illumination, it's Zaylan. I think they're working on a Mario movie. They're working with Nintendo. Star Fox. That would be dope. That would be dope. I would love to see a Star Fox film. Yeah. Again, say just, you got a boost to get through and you're going to make millions and millions of dollars. Nintendo can put out good movies, but for some reason, they just don't. They just don't. Osmandius here says an F-Zero film. I'd be okay with that one. Illumination, I think, makes terrible movies, but the animation is great. Secret Life of Pets was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. And Secret Life of Pets 2 doesn't look like it's any better. So you have that. and so yeah, everything else. It's just, Nintendo needs to step in with it is Shigeru Miyamoto needs to step in. That's it. Step in and go like, I control the story. And everyone would be like, I'm on board with that. I'm 100% on board with that one. Brie Larson to play Sailor Moon. Okay, Dan Zhao. All right. Keep it in your pants. Literally. Cause that's what it's so many people. Like, imagine all the weebs that hate Brie Larson. And all of a sudden she's like, dressed as Sailor Moon and she's going to be, leading that movie. People are going to like have some serious sex. Miyamoto has control of the story. Yeah. What I mean by that is having control of the story, Luneth, and like the film production side of things. So yeah, there's that one. All right. I'll save this one for tomorrow. Oh, I had a story. Actually, I want you guys. I want to talk about this with you guys because this one is one that is pretty. It's. I don't know what to make of it, to be fair. And hold on. There we go. Let me. There's one thing I want to bring up here. There we go. Okay. This next story is very, very weird. No. Damn it! I lost my tab. I have a lot of tabs. Always have a lot of tabs. Okay. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. So I want to start off by saying I love Chris Pratt. I have ever since Parks and Rec. Actually, I have ever since I saw him in Take Me Home Tonight, which came out mid Parks and Rec, but it was shot, I think, before Parks and Rec even did. It was shot in 2007, released in 2011. Fun rom-com. He was the bad guy. He was great. And I've always been a fan of Chris Pratt ever since. And Yvonne Strahovski. Yeah, she's, that list of 5 people you can sleep with and your spouse doesn't get upset at? She's on my list. But been a fan since Chuck. And I've always liked her work. And so apparently they're closing this deal to co-star in a movie, and this is Paramount, called Ghost Draft. Not the most engaging title, not the most engaging plot, because there's not much there for it. But at the same time, what we're looking at here is a very, well, let's just go into this together. So last month, Variety reported that Yvonne Strahovski was in negotiations to star opposite of Chris Pratt in a science fiction war movie called Ghost Draft, directed by Chris McKay, who did the Lego Batman movie at Skydance and Paramount. Now, Skydance has a deal with Paramount, an overall deal with them. But look at the talent behind this. You have Chris Pratt, who worked on Jurassic World, Guardians of the Galaxy, the last couple Avengers films. People know him in general. People like him in general. You got Yvonne Strahovski, who's not necessarily a household name, but in nerd circles, she's up there. And especially with the success of The Handmaid's Tale, she's now got a much larger fan base of, I don't want to say like lonely housewives, but probably Lonely Housewives. So she's got that. And coming in from Chris McKay having done the Lego Batman movie, because he was supposed to do, I think, a Dungeons and Dragons film. And I know he was attached to do Nightwing at some point. This is going to be an interesting film. Now, she's going to play the character Pratt meets in the future who has a connection to his past. Because, we've never seen that before, right? We've never seen that at all. Not once. H&N Entertainment has learned that Yvonne has closed her deal for the project as filming is set to kick off in Georgia. What they say here is, a man is drafted to fight in a future war where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront his past. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? A man is drafted to fight in a future war where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront his past. Like, is it like the future of humanity all dependent on whether or not this dude can like face his freaking demons in therapy? That would be interesting, right? A mental war. I don't know. It's this ghost draft. There's got to be a working title. Anyway, it's set to begin production September 18th in Atlanta. And then we'll wrap on October 30th. This is a very quick turnaround, only 7 weeks or 6 weeks. So probably not a lot of, either they're going to be shooting a lot of soundstage. It feels like it. And, but the thing is though, this is where it's interesting. They say here that they previously reported that the film's crew will include Mission Impossible Fallout production designer Pete Wenham and Pulp Fiction costume designer Betsy Hyman. Now, the production design on Fallout was great. It was. The production design on Mission Impossible Fallout was fantastic. And Pulp Fiction had 1993 pretty much locked in a bag costume-wise. But we can still remember what Jules and Vincent Vega were wearing, those suits, what Butch was wearing, what Zed was wearing, what the Gimp was wearing, what Marcellus Wallace was wearing. The costume design is there. And of course, what we learn here is that there's going to be more casting in the next couple of weeks. And H&N first reported back in May that Paramount would distribute the film, but they haven't given it an official release date yet. Probably not until 2021 or 2020, somewhere probably end of the year. I would argue it's going to be this type of movie. For some reason, I feel like it's going to try to be like an award contender. And I say that because of this movie right here, Passengers from 2016. Remember this movie? You probably don't. Well, you probably heard that Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence are going to bump uglies in the movie, and that might have gotten your interest, but then the rest of it was no, not at all. This is a movie that had a $110 million budget. And if I recall correctly, Scarlett, Jennifer Lawrence got paid like $27 million to be in the movie. She's like the highest paid actress in Hollywood at this point in time. And so out of that budget, a lot of it went to Jennifer Lawrence and a lot of it went to Chris Pratt, who was coming off of the success of Guardians of the Galaxy and everything else and Jurassic World. And they wanted this to be an awards contender. That's what they really went for here. And sure, it did $303 million worldwide off of a $110 million budget. But that's still not enough to consider it a success. And it wasn't necessarily well received, critically speaking. And this is a movie that came out in the Christmas time of 2016, expecting to be that big push and that big budgeted film that's going to, win all the awards, and did nothing. It did nothing. It dropped not with a bang, but with a whimper, because it was just a bad movie. And that's the vibe I get out of Ghost Draft. It's like, look, here's the thing. You've got Chris Pratt coming off of Endgame, right? He's going to be going into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They're doing Jurassic World 3. This dude literally is at the top of his game franchise-wise. And he's doing this small movie about a man who has to save our future by confronting his past. That's the laziest log line I've ever fucking heard. You wonder why Hollywood's out of ideas? This honest question for you right now. Do you think that this is a movie that would be in the in the trash, or like on Netflix or in theaters? Because the description alone makes me think it's going to go to Netflix. Right? This is going to be one that Paramount's really known, by the way, for selling movies to Netflix. Annihilation and the Cloverfield Paradox. This feels like another Cloverfield Paradox, where they're going to be like, all right, we have this great idea. We're going to drop $50 million to make it. It's going to be a low budget award contender. and then they're just going to drop it on Netflix because it's cheaper. Because nobody's going to want to see a movie like this. It doesn't matter who it is. But this could be a big move for Netflix because you have Chris Pratt leading a film like Sandra Bullock with Bird Box, Will Smith with Bright, Ben Affleck Triple Frontier, although that one didn't do as much as they wanted to do, but like De Niro and The Irishman, all those other things, yeah. This one's going to Netflix. Mark my damn words. Anything ghost or demonic related Netflix money, pretty much. Has anyone watched the Boys yet? Yeah, I've watched The Boys. It's great. I haven't seen Triple Frontier yet. I need to see it. All right. Now that that's out of the way, now that the news bits are out of the way, that I can I can rip off and make videos for tomorrow. Ha ha ha. Because that's how I do this shit. Why don't we open it up? Why don't we open the phone calls? You guys can shoot a call in, and we'll talk about these, or we'll talk about whatever else is on your mind. Phone line is now open, and let's do it, boys. Let's do it. Let's have a good time. Talk about what's going on and shit. Oh, right off the bat. Oh, okay. Someone called and then immediately hung up. All right. We'll call back if you want. Oh wait, hold on. I might have actually really screwed up. Oh, I think I know the problem. I think I know the issue here. I was trying to fuck with call forwarding, and I think it's for any and all calls. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's fine now. You can call in. It was on. I thought it was trying to go for like. Skype doesn't have anything for call forward or for call waiting. So it was going to voicemail right afterward. Anyway, yeah, call back in. It's fine. There we go. Hey, what's going on? You're on the air.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, what you doing?
Listening to $3 Theater. What are you doing?
I'm on 3 Buck Theater. Didn't we just talk a couple hours ago?
Oh. Hey, did you hear the news about Snake Eyes?
I did hear the news about Snake Eyes. Yeah, Henry Golding is going to be playing Snake Eyes in the new movie. Finally doing that. What's it called? Another G.I. Joe film.
Is it going to be centered around Snake Eyes? Could he carry a movie, that character?
I don't think so. I really don't think Snake Eyes could carry a movie. I really don't. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks that too. Because Roman says here that you have a man crush on me. No, we're friends.
I do.
We're friends IRL. He just calls in. He just calls in. So
the thing is though, Matt identifies as a female, so it's not really a man crush. It's pretty straight.
Oh, right. No, I think you got that flipped around, dude. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Either way, it's still a straight relationship.
Sure. You were really eager to feed me one of those Beyond Burgers at Comic-Con. But anyway, so
yeah.
I
love soy. I gotta say, I love soy. Everybody wants to say I eat soy. Go ahead.
I'm gonna clip that out. I'm so gonna clip that out and send that to Christian Harloff. But anyway, anyway, back on subject here, back on topic. So this fucking Snake Eyes movie could Henry Golding hold it? It doesn't matter who's in it. Could any person actually sit there and get this thing going? Could any person actually sit there and hold, a 90-minute, 2-hour long movie about a guy who doesn't talk? Unless he talks in the movie and then he loses his voice.
Am
I wrong?
Deadpool and Wolverine, or the Wolverine movie again.
It's going to be like that. Yeah. He can talk. And then, cause Henry Golding is he's a British actor. I looked him up today. He's a British actor. And let's see here. He's 32 years old. He's an English Malaysian actor. He's known for a presenter on BBC's The Travel Show, and best known as
Crazy
his
Rich
role
Asians.
as which I never saw. Oh, and then he was also in A Simple Favor, which no one else ever saw anyway. And then he's got this new movie called Last Christmas. I don't even know, a young woman who's been
Oh yeah,
continuously
I saw a
unlucky.
trailer for that.
Yeah, I hear it's interesting, I guess.
I don't
I
know,
don't know.
man. It looks like a throwaway a little bit. Looks like a
I
little bit, but
mean,
who knows? Maybe like those movies with low expectations tend to be kind of good sometimes because you don't expect anything out of them.
I don't know. I mean, it's Amelia Clark in a movie that's not fantasy related, so I don't expect it's going to do very well.
Look, I feel bad for Ray Park. He's a friend of mine. I'm probably gonna make a video about this, and then he's gonna call me and go, "Thanks for the backup, brother." He usually does that. Ray Park, if you go on his Instagram, he's like losing all kinds of weight, getting chiseled. I think he's getting ready to do something Darth Maul. He doesn't want to tell me. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that dude has, like, man, he's ripped. He's doing all this kinds of martial art on his Instagram, showing it off. I think he was a dope Snake Eyes, and he was fun as. Remember, he was Toad in X-Men.
Yeah, that's true. I thought he was good as Snake Eyes. He does well in roles where he never talks, because he was also in
Yeah,
a movie
yeah.
called Ballistic X versus Sever, which came out in the fall of I think 2002 and or 2003, and he talked in that one, and it wasn't very good. So there's
Hey,
that.
come
But
on,
but
come on.
but the
He
thing is,
does he
no,
does movies with Scott Atkins. He did a movie with Scott Atkins. Is pretty good. Scott Atkins, that martial artist dude I would have loved to see play Batman.
I don't know. Fine, I guess.
That,
I mean, look, the thing is, I can like Henry Golding is a performer, right? He's a performer. So it's kind of like when you and I were talking about Spider-Man, Tom Holland. You're like, oh, he's out of the mask. Oh my god. Oh my god, I
that's
hate
not
it.
Tom Holland's fault. That's not because he does
You
it
were
in public.
he
How
did
come
it on top of roofs. No one could see. It's a movie. It's
people in the
suspended.
chat tell me, does Tom Holland take off his mask too much? Well, that's Spider-Man. Does he take off his mask too much? Let me know. Or am I crazy here? I think
I think
Spider-Man
you're. I
should
think
be
you're.
very anal about that. Huh?
I'm just saying. It's like it's it's he can like literally climb on walls. It doesn't even matter. The whole point what I'm trying to get through here. The whole point what I'm trying to get through here is that
Mm.
like, can a person, like, can a movie like this, actors emote. Actors are brought into emote. He's not going to be in the Snake Eyes costume until like the end of the movie, or he's going to talk.
You
He's
think
going to lose
that's
his
going to
voice.
happen?
Yes. 100%, dude. 100%.
People are going to get pissed.
I don't think there's enough freaking G.I. Joe fans anymore to get fucking pissed. I'm not kidding
Look,
you.
I think they should have introduced the GI Joes at the end of Bumblebee or something, because
That would have made
really
Bumblebee a better
rebooted it.
movie.
Yeah, possibly, and they're both owned by Paramount, and I think like that's something. I like the Paramount people. They're very. I love the people that work there and stuff. I want to see them get some hits under their belt and stuff. And I hope the Snake Eyes movie. I don't know, maybe there's more to it, but I hope it does well. I'm gonna go watch it for sure. But you're right. I don't know much about the character, but I don't know if he could even. I don't think he could carry a movie, at least from now, from what I'm looking. So.
Well, okay, so looking at the idea here of what they're going to do possibly with this. So Variety is reporting that Henry Golding, best known for his roles in Crazy Rich Asians and Simple Favor, is in talks to play Snake Eyes. Hasbro has planned for a wider cinematic universe of movies based on its myriad of toy properties, which makes sense. Robert Schwentke, who did Red and Allegiant, will direct the movie, while Beauty and the Beast and Huntsman Winter's War scribe Evan Spiliotopoulos, that's like, his name is like 1,800 syllables, will handle the script. But the thing is, what's the story going to be? The story is going to be Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. It's going to be them. It's going to be them growing up, them working together, and then ultimately, because they were what is it? Snake Eyes, of course, is one of the original mercenaries that made up the Joes. a deadly commando that went on to train in the martial arts alongside his longtime frenemy, Storm Shadow, in the Arashikage ninja clan. Eventually, after dramatically parting ways with his comrade and his family, Storm Shadow found himself joining the villainous Cobra, fighting Snake Eyes and the Joes in a relationship that has seen the two ninjas be everything from brothers to bitter enemies. And that, of course, is going to be the angle they're going to play. That's the angle they're going to play. They want to make this, they want to make it, a brother v brother situation, right? Like, it's totally going to fucking rip off the ending of Revenge of the Sith. You're going to have Anakin. Sorry. You're going to have Storm Shadow versus Snake Eyes. And he's going to be like, "Whoa, the high ground." What? I have the high ground. God damn it. Pulls out the mask. I have the high ground. You fucking little bitch. And then they're gonna fight, and then like Mustafar is gonna happen, and it's just that's how it's gonna be. That's the movie right there, because that's exactly what they want to do.
Why does every conversation have to go back to Star Wars though?
Why not?
You know what bothers me about that line? I have the high ground. Is that Obi-Wan had the low ground against Darth Maul in the episode 1? What the hell is that?
He got a lot better as time went on, so.
Hey, look, Matt. Look, I'm gonna let you go because I want more people to call in. Hit the like button.
hit the smash. Do it.
There's a lot of people watching. I think out of these shows you're doing them this week, you're very consistent. I think this one has the most views so far. I see the chat's going nuts. But you guys got to hit the like button and share this thing. And I see you have a little bit of what is this? You have a bar there for some donations.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, doing a goal for the channel. If you guys like the show, kick down $1, help out. It all goes towards.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. A lot of people. Flowing. You're a humble. Yeah, you're a humble guy. You don't want to talk about it like other people. I'll talk about it. Look, you spend a lot of money, a lot of time trying to entertain, the audience and stuff. You do a lot of research. It's a lot of work. And you spend a lot of money on Red Bull, or rock stars, right? So give Matt $1 so he could get some rock stars so he could stay up for these things, and it goes a long way. And maybe you could update your equipment right there and some stuff. You have a newborn, so maybe diapers or whatnot. So go ahead, hook this man up, okay? Give him some donations. Streamlabs is down there. Give him a super chat. I mean, it's fun to just like listen to these things, but if you can, $1, it's nothing. It's nothing. But either way, if you can't afford $1, share this thing and press like. I'm sure Matt welcomes everyone. All right, Matt. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to be listening right here.
All right, man. Thank you very much. There we go. That's my cheerleader. All right. Hey, what's going on? 619. How you doing, man?
Oh, hey, man. How you doing, dude?
Doing good. Just hanging out and enjoying the conversations.
Oh, that's great to hear. Oh, by the way, I followed your advice from last night. I have popped my bubble, and I have gone out beyond Bonita.
You left the comfort of that part of San Diego, and you ventured outwards. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I know, but I went to Old Town.
Oh, Old Town's very nice. Old Town's very nice.
Yeah, that place is nice, and like this weekend, I'm planning to go to Gaslamp as well. Like my first time going there. Nice,
man. There's a lot. Gaslamp's a lot of fun. You should go during Comic-Con. It's basically nuts to butts.
Oh, so
nice. That's more or less what it is at that point. So what's on your mind tonight, man? I know we had a good conversation last night.
Oh yeah, it's almost related to that because I've been thinking a lot about about what we talked about, and I was thinking to myself that like with the success of like The Boys, the show. It's been getting like rave reviews everywhere. Like people are loving like this new gritty show, like this new gritty comic book show. Like basically showing that like not every series has to be like the CW or something like that. Or has to be all tame or like relatively tame to like succeed. So I was thinking to myself, and I wanted to ask you: is there any other it doesn't have to be like an independent like comic or like something like that, but it's like any other comic property that could work, not necessarily as a movie, but as like a mini series or just a series like on any streaming service.
The way I see it more or less is like, okay, so it all boils down to money. This is what, let's be fair. That's everything about this boils down to cash, right? It's just that. Can these properties make money? Can they earn back what they cost to make? I mean, look at Swamp Thing, for example. Just that one season
Mm-hmm.
apparently was pretty violent, and it had a budget reportedly of $80 million for the whole season.
Wow.
Yeah, $80 million. And they were going to get a tax rebate from the state of, I believe it was North Carolina. And there was like a paperwork error, and that's what caused it to go down, but whatever. But the thing is, 80 million is what Warner Brothers had invested into the season. Was it going to make 80 million back from DC Universe? I don't know. Maybe it was down the road. They were investing into getting people to come on in. And that's the whole point. When you look at something like, let's say, The Boys, it's on Amazon, which has like it's like what, the largest company in the world, I think, or one of them at least. So
Yeah.
they got a lot of money to invest into this kind of stuff. The thing is that it worked. It did really, really, really well. So there's a lot of other properties that they could do this with, but they need to have a good creative team. What I want is I want Marvel to pull their head out of their ass and actually deliver on that type of content. People really liked Daredevil, and it was really popular. And so much so that it was Netflix's number one show for a while. And it was dark, it was gritty. People like that kind of shit. Look at how much money Game of Thrones has made for HBO. Not to say that's a comic, but it's still an adaptation of an adult-based material, of adult fantasy. So it's all dependent on whether or not there's something good that comes out of it, that there's money, and that it can turn a profit. Not everything is going to do that, obviously, but The Boys is successful because it provides the antithesis to what we know from the homogenized, sanitized version of the MCU. And people were desperately looking for it. They wanted it in The Punisher. They really did. But they felt that season 2 of The Punisher kind of lost its luster a little bit. And and I mean, it humanized Frank a little bit too much for some people. It did. But here you have an entire group of sociopathic, narcissistic, violent superheroes that put on this facade of we're heroes, when all things considered, they would kill you, let alone save you, right? If it was up to them, they don't care. And that's a big part of like why it works, because it's showing us this darker side of being heroes, whereas the Punisher is a character that was always dark. It was always dark. He killed people. But here, the human, the majority of the world, the vast majority, thinks these are all heroes. But then we learn what they do in their private life and how that's all fucked up. It's one of the reasons why Watchmen is another good one too, is because that one also explores the darker side of being a hero. And again, I think that it's going to take a property that really adeptly does that. It's not just adapting anything and making it dark and gritty. It has to be a property that is worth making it dark and gritty. And there's a lot of it out there that can. But the problem is, though, is a lot of these companies, again, Disney, Warner's, they're afraid of the investment financially. And they lose when there's a bump in the road. Look at Swamp Thing. When there's a bump in the road, instead of taking the hit and figuring it out, they canceled it, but still begged people to watch. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and like I'm also thinking like most of like the stories that like, or most of these like these series that are going on, like they succeed because first of all, like we're in a phase where I wouldn't say we do not have superhero fatigue. The MCU has basically destroyed that idea by now, but we do. I guess we do want to see something kind of not to act like Ryan Johnson, but like something subverting that, like taking it like in a direction that kind of flips the whole formula on its head, and that's what The Boys did by showing that these superheroes are like what you think are like the idols of the earth, or just sadistic, like sociopathic assholes. And I'm thinking like, well, there's been a lot of properties that have done stories like The Boys, and I'm thinking like with the success of this, I'm pretty sure other services or maybe even movie studios are going to try and put their hand like in this type of story. Like as an example, you can look this up if you want to, man. There's a story called, I believe it was called Rat Pack. Yeah, like Rat Pack. It was basically about, it's kind of like The Boys, but focusing on the sidekicks of the superheroes. Like, basically like like not like a dark parody of like how are the sidekicks treated, and how like most sidekicks, once they reach like a legal age, they're basically switched off for younger people so they can keep up appearances. And it also like deals with like the dark aspects of like how people make fun of Batman and Robin for like being gay. Like the Batman, like the Robin surrogate for the story, like he like in the beginning of the story, he goes to a priest basically to say, listen, I'm getting molested by like the Batman figure, like the Batman one, and it's getting to a point now that I'm getting older where like the flirtation is not going on towards actual molestation. It's kind of like this really dark story, but also like has dark comedy elements, like very, very, very dark comedy elements. And I'm thinking something like that could work. Like at first I thought it would never work because I was like, oh no, this is too much for like our current state. But seeing how The Boys is there, I'm like, oh, this could work perfectly.
Well,
And I'm waiting for someone to go.
The Boys is also excellently made. You know,
Oh,
Eric Kripke,
that too.
who came off of doing Supernatural, worked with Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen to make this movie or to make this show. They've definitely got a lot of people backing them. You know, they got a lot of great actors involved, and so everything really came together well. And that is ultimately what a lot of people are going to be looking for with this type of situation. So I think more stories can do it. I think more stories can go that route. But they also just need to be told straightforward. You know what I mean? They just need to be told straightforward and look like they're not made for TV. The biggest problem with, I think, the Marvel Netflix shows is that you could tell they were made for TV because it's coming off of Marvel Television, which is a division of ABC Studios. They worked with them. And that's where a lot of that came from. The Boys feels like it was a movie, like an 8-hour long movie. And that was another thing, the way the production design and the effects really sold it as a film or as a show. And Amazon knew they were onto something special. That's why they greenlit it right off the bat. Or greenlit a second season right off the bat. So I think we're going to see some good shit coming from this one here pretty soon. I'm looking forward to season 2, and I hear in season 3 they're gonna do the big superhero orgy scene that was in the comic book.
Oh my god! Oh, you know, after seeing they did something similar in the second to last episode of Doom Patrol, like that one DC Universe show. And
I heard something about that. Someone had tweeted. I said something about. I retweeted the orgy thing, and someone sent me a picture of Doom Patrol. I haven't finished Doom Patrol, so I don't know.
All right, yeah, not to spoil it, but when it happened, I'm just like, well, it's not gratuitous. It's not gratuitous, but I'm just like, wow, this is literally the first ever superhero orgy on film.
Like, well, Christ. again, if the source material can warrant the M rating, then just let it happen. You know, and that's the biggest problem is a lot of this stuff absolutely warrants the M rating, but everyone's too afraid of it. I think it's good that we live in a world now where they're not. But the problem then becomes that, if it doesn't do well, if a couple things don't do well, then certain things might kind of fall apart. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think I'm gonna get a couple of calls that have kind of come in while we've been talking. So I'm gonna let you go, but I appreciate you calling in again, and definitely do it again in the future.
Yeah, this was a good talk, man. Have a beer.
Well, and enjoy the rest of San Diego whenever you eventually get around to seeing all of it.
Hey, man, thanks, man. Have a good night, dude.
You too, man. Night.
I do.
All right. 702 area code. What's going on, man?
Hey, it's Cam again.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, not much.
So what's on your mind tonight?
I was going to mention two big rumors of speculation for, I guess, what you would call the big two remaining movies of the year, and that's Joker and Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, what you got?
Well, first of all, I wanted to touch on this rumor. I don't know if you heard of it. this big like I supposed plot leak for Joker, which says that he's going to be revealed to have been the illegitimate son of Thomas Wayne.
That doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. It really doesn't surprise me if that was if that's something that they do.
I'm undecided on it, but yeah, I've heard it, and I really don't know how to feel on it. I know it's an Elseworld story, but still, it's a strong deviation from what we know the Joker to be.
I still personally think, and this is just me, but I personally think that making it an Elseworld story is dumb as fuck. Stop that shit.
I do too.
Like, don't split. This is the thing when because people, I see articles. I saw an article today that's all like, oh, with Birds of Prey and the Joker and Wonder Woman 1984 going different directions, they're gonna save the DCEU, and it's all like, Marvel's on like, their 22nd movie or 23rd film now, and it's still pretty coherent, and it's all made a lot of fucking money. It's all made billions of dollars. DC's like, we like money. What are you doing about that? We're going to separate everything because it's the anti-Marvel. That's not going to work. You know what? I mean, don't get, like Aquaman did good. Aquaman showed you it could be good if you embrace the funny.
Same thing with Shazam. Shazam was really well received.
Shazam was well received, and I think it did enough money theatrically to warrant a sequel, and I think it's going to do well on home video. This week alone, if no one has it yet, you can get the Blu-ray for $15, and the 4K for $20. So, I mean, they've dropped the price because Endgame hit. The thing is, I completely agree. Lunith in the chat says Shazam was good. I'm like, I agree, man. Shazam was great. I love Shazam. It was a fantastic movie, and it's one that more people need to see. But that doesn't shy away from the fact that you can have a connected universe and not fuck it up. Like the DC is they've switched so many heads so far. So many people have been in charge since 2015. That who know? Everyone's like, oh, Walter Hamada's in charge now. Yeah, but is he going to be gone in a year? Are they going to make The Trench? They're leaning into these horror themed movies because that's what Walter Hamada knows.
They only have the movies planned out to 2021, but so does Marvel at this point. So it's not like they're Marvel's got the next 6 years planned. They've only announced. No, I know. In terms of what they've announced, they need to plan out what they're going to do through like 2025.
Well, I was talking with a friend of mine, and he's like, I think they're going to announce more Phase 4 stuff or Phase 5 stuff at D23. Like, no, they made a big stinking 90-minute panel at Comic-Con for Phase 4. They're not going to touch Phase 5 for a while. And it makes sense. Everyone wants that. The thing is, everyone wants there to be talking about X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool.
That's not going to happen for 2 years, probably. Yeah,
it's not going to happen for a while. Yeah, I would say Deadpool is going to be the first one that gets announced because it's like the most current franchise, and by not doing it, they're just leaving money on the table. They're just and Disney likes money, and they've spent all that cash for Fox, so it makes sense. It just makes fucking sense for them to do it. But then again, Ryan Reynolds is probably going to get, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds is done playing Deadpool and, we just don't know it yet. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. In reference to DC, they have the best Elseworld stories in the comics. If they wanted to do Elseworld stories, they need to make it more overt, like a Superman Red Sun or a Gotham by Gaslight or a crime syndicate movie, something that's more overtly not the straightforward DC. With the Joker movie, it looks like it's not like people could be mistaken that, oh, this takes place in the normal DC universe,
Yeah, well, I think that when it comes to DC, like they know their animated movies do pretty well. Like right now, they've got this thing where you can, I think you can pre-order because this is the 80th year of Batman. You can pre-order. What's it called? Like all the Batman animated movies. You can pre-order all of them right now. And it's like this huge mega Blu-ray box set of all those films. And it's just like, it's like, oh shit. Like they know Batman's their bread and butter, which is one of the reasons why I find it really interesting that they didn't go with Affleck right off the bat. They didn't go for a standalone movie, sooner rather than later.
Well, that's why they were so quick to recast him with Robert Pattinson. and not and the Superman thing's just kind of been like left on the table. Like no one knows if Henry Cavill's going to come back or not, but it looks like they're not even doing anything with Superman right now.
I think because here's the thing. If Dwayne the Rock Johnson is in a DC movie, Henry Cavill will be back. Mark my words. And you know why? They share the same fucking agent.
Oh yeah, his ex-wife.
His ex-wife. Yeah. And she's a hard hitting agent. And she probably talked him into to like putting to playing hardball and whatever. And I think part of that was because because the whole Shazam cameo appearance thing, The Rock co-produced Shazam. And when Shazam came out, remember, I don't know if you saw this, but The Rock actually put out a video on Instagram, basically taking credit for it. And I was like, what did you do? Like, what did you do on this fucking movie? So, it's one of those things where it cracks me up because it's I honestly think that The Rock has kind of been controlling Henry Cavill in order to get the Black Adam movie, because now we're hearing that like he's had a dinner or he wants to meet with like Kevin Feige, and it's possible that they want to bring Dwayne The Rock Johnson into the MCU. And I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to do a video about this and be like, The Rock is not as big of a movie star as people think he is. He's got the larger than life persona 100%. And I'm not saying in any way he's a bad dude. I think he's a great guy. Right. But he is not his success is more of an illusion than it is a reality. And I say that because, look at him now. Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. It's a sequel to a franchise he didn't start. Oh, what's next? Yeah. Oh, Jumanji. It's a sequel to a franchise he didn't start.
Yeah. The movie star appears to be over to where names aren't enough to sell tickets anymore. So, yeah, I can kind of see that. It's like he's like the chair on top of the sundae, but he's not the whole sundae sort of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's not as important as he thinks he is.
Yeah. It's kind of weird with DC with a lot of their actors are in like limbo. I mean, last we heard Ezra Miller was still the Flash because they fired the two guys that were going to write it because they went with his script after that whole debacle. And now the director of it might direct the Flash movie.
Yeah. I know if that'd be interesting if Andy Muschietti gets in there to do that.
Yeah. That'd be interesting because of the script he co-wrote with Grant Morrison, who's known for more like gothic storytelling. So it definitely won't be anything like the CW show, that's for sure. The writers of Homecoming would have probably directed something more in line with that kind of Flash. I feel.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen the guys who wrote Homecoming do it. I think they would have done a good job. I think going Flashpoint's a bad idea. I think doing Flashpoint right off the bat's a bad idea.
This early, it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, although what's it? Who's the guy who plays Negan on
Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah, him as Batman would be great.
That would be great too, but who knows with that anymore with Robert Pattinson? They haven't even confirmed whether he's playing the same Batman, just younger or whatever. I mean, I have a theory on how they could turn Ben Affleck's Batman to Robert Pattinson's Batman, but it's kind of far out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you know what they did to Deathstroke a few years ago? The character in the comics.
No.
How they made him younger, where he was exposed to a serum that de-aged him by like 30 years, and he was a young man. It popped into my head. Look, would they do that for Batman to like keep it canon with the DCU, but he's the same character, just 30 years younger?
No, they would just recast. They would just recast. It's so difficult to do that. I mean, Warner's has bad ideas. Let's be fair. They have some bad ideas.
Like I meant, like Ben Affleck Batman would like walk in a room, get face full of gas, and then he'd walk out Robert Pattinson. Yeah, a little too highbrow, probably. Yeah. There's
a lot that they just shouldn't even remotely touch anymore. What DC needs to do is like go on a fucking retreat, right? Go out there on a retreat, and then just like sit down and go, okay. We're going to plot out the next 5 years of DCEU connected films. what do we got? And Jeff Johns is like, I can save it. I can give us Green Lantern. And they're like, fuck you, Johns. Because he could. I think Green Lantern right now would do real well.
Oh,
I think
Lantern,
with the success of
well,
Captain Marvel.
Aquaman 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have Aquaman 2 for 2022, I believe. But now that's weird because Jason Momoa says he can't film for a while because he's doing that protest and
no, that's all.
Hawaii.
It's all a ploy. No, they got him contracted. He's not gonna. Did you see there's an image of him getting
film for a while anyway? So yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's like, I can't do it because I'm gonna go protest this what's it, a fucking telescope or something on top of this sacred mountain in Hawaii. You know, and it's like, I get it. And then he was quote unquote arrested today.
I saw that, but it looked like he was too friendly with them for it.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was just a joke thing. That's all it is. So that's all it boils down to at this point, is just like, oh, okay, you're doing this thing where, you know, he's playing up a part. He's trying to get attention on this issue that he's clearly passionate about, and it's working. We're talking about it, but that's all it is. You know, there's so much money at play here.
Yeah. Well, at this point, if they can keep the recastings of the main actors to like 1 or 2, that's good, because they've already recast Batman. There's rumors that Idris Elba is playing Deadshot in the Suicide Squad, but no,
Idris Elba. That's not. Yeah, no. There was that rumor, and then they got rid of it.
But then they cast Storm Reed as his daughter, so it's kind of like a weird coincidence that there's another black lead actor in the Suicide Squad with a daughter that he cares for. So I don't know. It's a possibility, I guess, but he might be playing like a bronze tiger or something instead.
I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be, I think whatever James Gunn's going to come up with is going to be pretty good.
I agree, yeah.
So I think ultimately it's going to be really, you know, I have faith in Gunn. There was a thing today I read that he might rewrite a script. That he might rewrite.
For Guardians 3, I saw that. Yeah, for Guardians 3.
I don't know why though. I mean, did something happen in his life perhaps that make him want to go back and rewrite the script?
I mean, all I care about is if they have Adam Warlock in there, because they set him up in the post-credit scene of the second movie. So that's really all I care about.
Well, and it's been a couple years. I mean, actually, by the time, because in the what was it, in the MCU, it would have been 2014 when Adam Warlock was conceived, and so then it was 2018 was the snap, and then 2023. So by the time where we are in the MCU right now, 2023 would be the year. So that's 9 years past the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, meaning that Warlock has had time to hatch the cocoon and then be around for a while. So that's interesting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of sequels would be very far removed in the MCU timeline when you think about it, because of the snap. Like Far From Home is like 2023, and Homecoming is like 2016. So that's like 7 years in between, even though it doesn't feel like it. So and it's gonna be the same thing for like Black Panther 2 and Doctor Strange 2 and all of that. So that's really weird to think that all these movies are separated by almost a decade in between their first and second movies. That is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, but it's been a weird thing. But I think, I think at this point, most people are either kind of just like done with the MCU for a bit. That's why I think Phase 4 is so low. It's low stakes. It's just super low stakes. A Black Widow movie? Who cares? A Shang-Chi movie? The Mandarin? The real Mandarin? Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, we've already kind of seen it.
I think people are saying that, but I think everyone's going to be there opening day 1 for Black Widow.
I think so, yeah. But even then, I was watching Endgame with my girlfriend the other night, and she was like, "Oh, it really sucks that Black Widow died." I'm like, "Yeah, but she's getting a movie coming out next year." She goes, "Wait, why? like why isn't she coming back? Why didn't they release the movie first?"
It's just before Endgame. That's why.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you just got to kind of like sit there and laugh at that. But anyway, man, I'm gonna I like to kind of keep it at about a 15-minute conversation piece if we can. So we just hit 15 minutes, so I'm gonna let you go. But appreciate you calling in, and then of course you're in the Discord, so we'll talk on there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about the Rise of Skywalker thing then. I think.
Yeah, we totally got off topic, but yeah, it's all good, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
All right, see you. All right. So thank you very much, Cam, for that one. And then I don't know the other guy's name. It's 619. He called him for a good guy. So phone line is open. If anyone, I know there's a couple calls that came in that I wasn't able to answer during that. So you can now make that call yourself. But anyway, let's take a look here at the chat because I've been reading that as we've been going on. So here, all right. Green Lantern has a lot of potential. Animants, I absolutely agree. DCEU has no clue where it's going. Jesus Martinez, I completely agree. I would like to see them do more with it. I need to see Under the Red Hood and Public Enemies, those animated films. I haven't. So there's that. Let's see here. All right. Oh, my chat went up. Okay. So Denzel asks, why doesn't Kathleen Kennedy place Dave Filoni in charge of Star Wars franchise? He's a fan favorite. They can work as partners. She handles the business and he handles the creativity. Well, okay. Here's the thing. They put that new woman, that Michelle Rejwan, right? They put her in and, she's handling the live action side of things. Filoni does better the animated side of things. So I think they're going to, and he's been working on finishing up Clone Wars and they have also been working on Resistance, which just got shit canned, which doesn't make any sense. It makes sense if you think about it from the fact that they haven't really been able to market the First Order as well as the Empire. And there's like 40 years of people liking the Empire, a couple of years of the First Order, and people are like, you're ending the saga, you're going to end the First Order, then where do you go? Sort of thing. So, that's really a big part of it is Filoni, I think, is going to handle the animation side of things. And or he's going to be working on The Mandalorian or maybe working on a show on that front. And I think that's kind of where he's better. He's better in the television long form storytelling department. So there's that. Let's see. Do I think Studio Ghibli movies will ever be released digitally? I do. I just don't know when. And I'm surprised they're not because I thought you could get them digitally. Or is that just through using the powers of the internet? I don't know. Annie Messer here says, I wish Green Lantern 2012 was a better movie. It's supposed to be start the cinematic universe. And they had Ryan Reynolds before he was huge. That's true. I watched Green Lantern one time. I didn't see it in theaters. I bought it on Black Friday when it came out. And I think it was like $10. And I watched the director's cut because I like Martin Campbell, the director of that movie. But yeah, it was, there were some cool moments in it, but it ultimately wasn't that good. It really ultimately wasn't that good. So I'm really hoping that they reboot it. And I think the biggest problem is studio executives. It's always studio executives. It's always the notes coming in and saying like, we want to change to this. That's why Lucas had full control, good or bad. And that works out. Emerald Knights, wasn't that the sequel, the animated film that Nathan Fillion voiced Hal Jordan on? They should do a Namor solo movie to compete with Aquaman 2. The rights, it's Alien. The rights are complicated right now. The rights are complicated. So ultimately, a lot of people would like to see that. And I think it's going to happen. But the rights are they have to make it a team up film they can't do a solo movie. Even though apparently, according to the writers of Endgame, the disturbance in the ocean was not a Namor reference. So I'm hoping they do that one. Okay, yeah. Roman, I didn't see Emerald Knights, but I saw the first Green Lantern movie. I forget who voiced Hal Jordan, and that was fucking dope. That was so good. So let's see. Nerd Report here says, I can't believe the Star Wars Blu-rays being released in September are not in 4K. I'm surprised as well. I think what it is they're going to release the full set. By the time the Rise of Skywalker comes out on home video, that's when they're going to do that. Okay, First Flight. Yeah, First Flight was really good. I really liked First Flight quite a bit. This is what I don't get. Why is it that DC doesn't release these animated movies in theaters? They did with The Killing Joke, which I thought was really good. Even with the added first act, which I actually quite liked. I like that quite a bit. And then these movies are pretty well regarded. They're well made. They're well acted. They're well directed. They're well written. But their live action shit suffers so much. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So Christopher Maloney, he did Hal Jordan. Let's see here. You want to see Sinestro hit the big screen? Wasn't that was Sinestro was the villain in Green Lantern, wasn't he? I thought that was. Yeah, that was Mark Strong. Yeah, okay. So, and I mean, Mark Strong is a great bad guy. You got to love that he played another bad guy in the DCEU, right? That's how good he is. It's like we need to find a guy who's been in a lot of movies. Let's do that. Let's bring in this one bad British actor. I mean, bad guy British actor. He's a great actor. Let's see here. Joshua asks, do I think that Lady and the Tramp live action will be horrible? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, that's right. Parallax was the big space fart. That's right. Yeah. Sinestro was in it, but he wasn't Sinestro yet. Right. Jason Paolo says here, I'd like to see a good Nightwing movie. Well, that was supposed to be in the works. There was a rumor a couple years ago that 2019 was going to be the year of the Batman. They were going to drop fucking so much shit on that. Are they really rebooting Die Hard, Zalian? I saw you mention that earlier. Did they now? I was busy today, so I didn't think I got all the news. We got this covered. Fucking wrote it. We got this. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. Take that with a Twinkie-sized grain of salt. But it does make sense. They'd want to reboot Die Hard. I'm not gonna lie. It does make a lot of sense that would happen. I completely believe that's going to be the case. So there's definitely that. Okay. Where's that tab? There we go. Let's see here. Did I see Disney's making more Alien movies? No, because they haven't mentioned the Alien franchise yet. So let me just Google that here, because that's probably another. Okay, Disney confirms. Okay, Ridley Scott said that they're discussing it. Again. Was this 17 hours ago? We got this covered. Disney to reboot Alien franchise. Ridley Scott may produce. There we go. Again, we got this covered. They are really. I gotta take a look at this. How many views per month does we got this covered get? Because I mean, I've covered their articles too. I'm trying not to until it's covered by a more reputable source, just to be on the fair side. Because I mean, like if it's, like Variety or whatever, we get, okay. So here's why we got this covered lies to you as much as they do. They get 5 million views a month on their website. 5 million a month. That's pretty good. So yeah, you can kind of see why they do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sit there. I don't want to sit there and cover this type of speculation. I mean, if you guys I'm going to put out like a Google Doc that's got like a survey on it. That's going to ask you guys ultimately what you want to see, like what kind of news you want me to cover. Generally, franchise stuff tends to do better than others. But, there's like a lot of these guys, they cover, they just create all this damn clickbait. So, it's just, yeah, not looking very good anymore. So it's just, you got to know who you can, because the thing is when you do this kind of clickbait shit, they make a lot of money. We got this cover seem skeptical because they have articles every 5 minutes. Yeah. They do. I mean, they put out more crap content than I do. And I put out a lot of crap content. Let's see here. Joshua says, I want to see more 2D animation films make a comeback. Dude, me too. You know what I want? I want blonde. Costa says, I'm like, you're the best. You're saying that I put out the shittiest content, Costa? That's, let's see. I tell you what I want, Joshua. I want Don Bluth to make one more movie. Or next year, I want a fucking 20th anniversary remaster of Titan AE. That's what I want. I want a 20th anniversary remaster. Again, so people had called in, but I guess it's not calling anymore. So here's the that's not the number. That's not the number at all. What Disney live action films will be announced at D23? I think we're gonna get full on uh, what's the word I want to use here? Fox movies. They're going to talk about Fox movies, is what I think. So I think we're going to get a bit about Fox films. I would love to. Oh, Dragon's Lair, isn't that a Fox property? You think they're going to announce Hercules? Oh, live action. Yeah. Let's see here. Do I think that AT&T will keep DC Comics? No, I don't. I think they're going to keep the DC brand. I think ultimately they're going to scuttle DC Comics. Or they're going to stop publishing like print versions because digital sells so well. I mean, I will say this though, on DC Universe, they remastered a lot of comics and it is fun to sit there and just read some of them. And it's really intuitive. I would read a lot more comics if I could read them on my TV. I got a 50-inch 4K. Sit back in my chair and just like drink a soda or a water because I'm, don't do that anymore. And then just sit there and like just read comics. So, okay. 2D animation is something that has been a very unique art form and many people have forgotten for the realistic. Let's see. Many people have forgotten it for realistic yet cartoony vibe. You know what, man? I agree. But you look at like The Princess and the Frog was really good. And then you look at, there was that, what was that Paper Plane one, that short film in front of, was it Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph or Big Hero 6? The one of like the dude, like he meets the girl and he like throws the paper airplane and whatnot. Like that was all done computer generated, but it looked 2G hand drawn. So they could do that. Let's see. Ooh, $2 super chat here from Costa. It says animated Batman versus Alien movie. That would be dope. That would be very dope. Did you ever see, Costa? Did you ever see the live action Batman versus Predator short film? That cost this one dude like $30,000 to make in like 2000. So you check that out, man. That's fucking dope. But I would like to see, I'd like to see, screw it. If Batman and TMNT have done well, why not do Batman and Alien? But now that Alien's owned by Disney, it's not going to happen. Let's see here. Spaceballs 2 without John Candy. I completely agree. Not a good idea. He's been dead for 25 years. Let's leave it be. Some caps. Are you talking about the Batman versus Predator? Batman Dead End. Yeah, I bought that at Comic-Con on like DVD. Back in the day, the guy was selling it at Comic-Con back when you used to actually be able to buy that kind of shit, which was great. Really enjoyable. Let's see. Does Batman and Ghostbusters actually exist? Because that would be something. I would be okay with that. Batman and Ghostbusters doing it donkey style. I have no idea. They were in the Lego. I think they were in the one Lego. Yeah, they were in Lego Dimensions, which is an interesting concept. Can I at least be realistic here? I don't think Will Arnett is very good as Batman. I'm kind of over his Batman, to be fair. I'm really hoping that Rick Moranis makes an appearance in Ghostbusters 2020. Remember bootleg DVDs on street corners? Well, in major cities, yeah. I never lived in the major city when bootleg DVDs were a thing. So all my friends knew how to get them the old-fashioned way. The internet. That's legit. Does Lucas get 25% of DC? No, he does not. If Fox can sort out its business, Disney will be able to allow them to create as much content as they want. Oh, we got a call coming in here. How's it going, 278?
Hey, what up, dog?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I was wondering about, I heard an idea talking about, somebody told me that this is possible, that Disney might consider turning Tony Stark as an AI. What do you think about that?
Oh, dude, I thought that as soon as I saw Endgame. As soon as I saw Endgame, and they had that little bit at the end there, that last little farewell. Sure, yeah. It was a wink to the audience, but it opens the door for Downey Jr. to come back into the MCU, and I think they're going to do it. To be fair,
you think so?
Well, okay, so think of it like this, right? And as Grace Randolph made a great point about this a while back. Look at a lot of the actors in the MCU, and look at their success in movies outside of the MCU. Not really there. I mean, like Downey Jr., it has Sherlock Holmes, which they are finally doing the third film, even though the last one came out in 2011. So it's going to be 10 years probably by the time that's going to come out. And then anything else he wants to do after the fact, acting wise, it's not really going to do it. The only, if I recall correctly, he did a movie called The Judge, I think, that came out.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing he's done outside of the MCU, really, in the past 10 years. So
Seriously.
yeah, he hasn't done much. He hasn't done much at all. He hasn't. He's supposed to be doing Dr. Dolittle. That's the next thing I'm hearing is Dr. Dolittle. But even that's been kind of put on hold. And so now that so at this point, whatever he does next, if it doesn't start to do well and he's not making money and then people aren't flocking out to go see it, of course he's gonna go back to Kevin Feige and be like, so can I be the AI and can I be new AI in Avengers Tower or Avengers Compound? Like, can I, and it's a cameo or a voiceover or something.
And you would also be very smart considering that there could be a decline. And so Tony Stark returning is pretty much like the one thing that could return the fan base, like back on track,
Well, that's only if the fan base is waning. And I think that that's going to be the big test.
Well, Brie Larson.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big test coming out for the next couple of movies. I mean, like as much as I want to see, as much as I want to see, what's it called? Fucking Black Widow, right? Like, and I want to see Doctor Strange too. And the shows seem interesting, but the Loki show seems terrible in its idea. Because you've got, it's not the Loki we know, which is what people want, right? It's not the Loki we know. It's the 2012 Loki that had no character development, and it's like so you're kind of rebooting this character with the actor to tie him into Thor 4 because he's going to be in Thor 4.
Seriously.
Yeah, well, that's the rumor. The rumor is he's going to be. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. So
because. To me, what I thought is that they'll focus on a more like sinister version of Loki. Like, what if I was told that in the comics he isn't actually anywhere near as developed in terms of actually us rooting for him. That he's way more vicious. So I actually found that to a little bit more interesting. Is like. I don't know what Feige would do with that, but you don't think people might actually like a dark version of Loki?
I think we got that version of Loki. We've already had that version though. We got him in Thor in 2011. I'm sorry, you still there?
Okay. Yeah, but what I mean is like imagine dark version like what you see with The Boys.
Okay.
Maybe
okay.
I don't know. Because because I actually thought about it, like somebody like Homelander, a Loki like that who is really sinister, but you manipulating his universe. I don't know how it even was this timeline thing. It seems like nonsense to me, but to me, I thought about a Loki where the Avengers are not around and he's like all powerful kind of Loki.
Yeah, I mean they could do something like that, but I mean this is Marvel. This is Marvel. Would they do something like that? And think of it like this. Looks like we lost him. He was calling from outside of the country, I think. So there's that one. Okay. That was exactly 5 minutes. I have no idea if that was on purpose or not. But anyway, to go to this point, I didn't get your name. I'm so sorry, man. Let me know who you are in the chat. Anyway, so basically the idea is, and this is what I'm thinking. They've spent all this time on character development, right? That's what Marvel has done. They spent all this time on character development, and to go back and change character development like that feels like a bit of a waste, because Wanda is not going back and being redesigned. She's going to be doing her show somehow with Vision, okay, and then she's going to move over to Doctor Strange. And you got the, you've got Hawkeye getting his show. So his character development is going to be there. We're going to see a bit of him as Ronin in the Decimation, right, during that time period. And that's going to be more character development for Hawkeye, which is going to be great. And then you've got Captain America, or the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is going to be a story about how Sam is the new Captain America and the United States government is not really digging it because I don't think Sam can be controlled and they want someone who can kind of be controlled. And Steve Rogers proved you don't need that shit. So I think having Loki go backwards to regress is not necessarily like the best thing. I do get it though from a villain perspective because there's a big problem with villains in Marvel movies and everyone liked Loki as the villain, but then they also grew to love him as a hero or at least an anti-hero. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. You think Ultron will return? Possibly. I think that's going to be a good idea. I think that'd be all right. I like Ultron. Give me, James Spader any day of the week, really. Nerd Report, the show needs to be 6 hours. No, it does not. My voice could not last that long. Thoughts on Dungeons and Dragons movie, like what they could do with the movie. I don't play D&D. I've always wanted to. I've just never been able to. I think they have to just tell an interesting storyline. I will say this though. If you haven't seen The Gamers, I think it's on YouTube or no, it's on Amazon. You can watch all of them on Amazon Prime if you got that. Will Black Widow be the first female-led superhero movie? No. Well, they could argue, and this is what I guarantee is going to happen. You're going to see Black Widow is the first non-super powered superhero, female-led superhero movie. Even though technically the Wasp doesn't have power, she just has a suit. So I don't know, man. They're going to find some way to bring it together. That's what they do. Let's see. Would I ever see a Young Avengers movie? I think it's going to happen eventually. Yeah, it's going to happen eventually. They're going to be up for it. Let's see. Wanda and Vision could possibly lead to the Avengers disassemble in the House of M. I keep hearing about the House of M. And then I don't know what the House of M is. Sorry. I'm going to Google it though real quick because I want to know. House of M is a 2005 comic book storyline published by Marvel Comics. The storyline consists of 8 core issues written by Brian Michael Bendis. Doesn't tell me what it is. Let me click on the fucking thing here. So, okay. All right. Its first issue debuted in June 2005 as a follow-up to the events of Planet X and Avengers Disassembled storylines, in which mutant superhero Scarlet Witch suffered a mental breakdown and tried to alter the fabric of reality to recreate her lost children. Scarlet Witch's father, Magneto, her twin brother, Quicksilver, played major roles in the series. Like the 1995-1996 Age of Apocalypse storyline, House of M replaced Earth 616 as the main reality for a brief time until Scarlet Witch reverts to normal. And the events of the storyline were later indicated to have occurred on Earth 58,163. It's interesting, and they could make it work, but if they start going into alternate timelines and multiverses, they're going to lose the audience. So there's that. I think this happened. Let's see. I would like to see Elektra come back from the Netflix series. I like Elektra. Scarlet Witch goes mad, and yeah, I mean that could be a thing. I think that'd be interesting if they finally decided to do that, and I think they're going to. It's also possible that WandaVision is going to be that, as it may. But then again, that's something you feel they'd put into more movie form versus having it be a 6 to 8 hour long, a 6 or 8 hour long miniseries. So, all right. So here's the thing, guys. We're going to probably be wrapping up in about the next 15 to 20 minutes. So any final calls, feel free to call on in. That last guy was calling internationally. So I think that was why he ended up getting the 5-minute call. It is exactly 5 minutes of booted out. Let's see. Zaylene here says Phase 4 is risky, and that's why you like it. Phase 4 actually isn't really risky. Yeah, Costa, if you call on in, man. It's not really risky. It's low key. It's very get it? It's low key. But I think it's one of those things where ultimately, we're just going to have to kind of get through it. And I think they're doing that on purpose. They know they need to keep content coming out. They have momentum. They don't want to stop. And if they bring it out, then it's going to be able to, still make money, but they got to now rebuild towards the next major conflict. Let's see. You feel like Shang-Chi and the Eternal is a little bit. I think Shang-Chi is going to be really good in China. And the whole Mandarin thing from a couple of years ago really pissed him off. Like pissed off a lot of people. I think in China, pissed off a lot of people in China. And Marvel knows there's a lot of money to be made in China. So obviously you don't want to you don't want to do that. And then they're also going to be introducing the actual Mandarin, which will be, I think they're going to also retcon it. Cause isn't like Shang-Chi, fucking Mandarin's kid? Yeah, I got no idea on this one. So there's, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. And the Eternals is just a swipe at DC's New Gods. That's all it is. I mean, Kevin Feige likes to listen to he watches what DC does and then just does it better. DC's like 2013. DC says we're doing Batman v Superman at Comic-Con. They announced that no less. Batman v Superman with Ben Affleck as Batman. Everyone's like, "Fuck me, dude." Fuck yeah, oh, jerk off and cum everywhere. And then like a couple months later, it's all like, we're going to be doing civil fucking war. Right. And then they got like, and that was probably the reason why Feige and Pascal were talking about Spider-Man, to get Spider-Man in Civil War to fuck over Batman v Superman. Now that actually makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it like that before, but that actually makes a lot of sense to do that. So by doing that, they could sit there and just go like, they could just, Feige will fuck over DC any chance he gets. That's why I think Namor, Aquaman hitting a billion and kind of shooting, even knocking down Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, which is objectively like way better movie, is probably going to make sure why Namor will be a thing. I think so. I think Namor is going to be a thing because of that, but just in a team up film. So it's possible that Black Panther 2 will have Namor, and I'd be okay with it. Although I don't know if the two, what would they even have in common? I mean, didn't they dump Killmonger's body at sea? Right? Maybe Namor's like, keep your trash out of my ocean, Wakandan. And then, Black Panther just kind of rolls up with a Koye and Shuri and goes, ba-bombe. Ba-bombe, right? And then he just keeps yelling, ba-bombe, ba-bombe, over and over and over again. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, it's the Wakandan battle cry. Yeah, but dude, you're in Jersey. Like, what the fuck, man? Ba-bombe, because that's what he keeps doing all the time in those movies. Let's see here. Costa, yes, I've talked a bit about The Boys. I am excited for Boys 2. Let's see here. Shang-Chi is the son of Fu Manchu. Sorry. You're right. He's the son of Fu Manchu in the comics, but it's since been regarded as a racial stereotype. So they're making the son of the Mandarin. Oh, that's what I heard. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, I can admit that. Let's see here. I think Wakanda and Atlantis are rivals, so there could be a battle, which would be on. But how would that work? How would that work? It's just like, oh, I see you are in the ocean. I am on the land. And then that's it. They just stare at each other intently for like a long time. And then it's a $1 billion fucking movie. You want to see more Hulk outside of using him as a side character? I do too. But we're not going to get that until Universal can make a deal with Marvel, which I think they really should do because they would make money. And Answer says they're both kings. I know that they're both kings. The king of Wakanda, the king of Atlantis. But why would they fight each other? What's going on? What is Wakanda doing to Atlantis that's pissing in their Cheerios? Really, honestly. Oh, all right. We got a call coming in. Probably. All right. Hey, how's it going?
Mega.
That's all right. There we go. Cool beans. Yeah. Oh. I have a feeling the trolls are going to be coming in. Let's find out. Hello?
Nigga.
All right. Yeah, they call me to do that. It's funny. I know that song too. I've seen that video. Jesus. Oh, come on, boys. Oh, there's another one coming in now. You guys can't hear it, so I have it muted. Let's find out. Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Why are you using Skype?
Because I want to.
It's free, right? Is that the reason why you use Skype?
Well, it's because I have a number, so people can call it that don't want to use like Discord, because not everyone uses Discord.
Cool, bro. Why don't you have a camera and shit?
Because I don't want to. Why don't you have a?
Why? Why are you too fat?
No, I just don't want to.
You sound, people that don't put cameras means you're really fat. You know that?
I don't see your camera anywhere. Oh no, you're calling it. It doesn't matter. I know. I realized that it was a bad comeback as soon as I fucking said it. So I can at least acknowledge that shit. But no, I mean, I don't give a shit. This is more of just a talking situation. I don't need to have a fucking camera, man. YouTube isn't just about the video.
What's the topic today, sir?
It's more or less whatever's on your mind in regards to movies. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, Black Panther was a really racist, shitty movie, and I don't understand why everyone likes it.
People like it for a multitude of reasons. One of them is obviously representation. First black-led superhero film.
Representation of what? Black? Black is wrong. White is wrong.
All right. There we go. How many numbers does this guy have? Holy shit. Jesus, how many numbers you got? All right. Let's see. Wow. Okay, there we go. That's what happens when you get There's another one. All right. Is it still you? Okay. I think this is not this guy.
Yeah, I just want to say that the only reason I'm calling you is because it's free.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And also, if you're gonna crank call someone, at least have like an idea before, man. These are the worst ones ever.
This is what's really funny about this though, is the guy's like he's got a lot of different numbers.
Because it's free. He exposed himself. He has a lot of Skype numbers because it's free.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
And man,
anyway,
have you seen that guy in camera? When he called, I saw him. He showed up for a little bit.
Oh, I always find it kind of funny. People like, oh, like why aren't you on camera? I don't want to come on camera. I like this to talk. It's fucking middle of the night.
You have a sexy voice, and the guy wants to see how you look.
Well,
but you can check out your other videos. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like you can't find photos of me around the internet.
I know the guy's really depressed right now. I really want to see how this guy looks. And then you see that Black Panther wasn't a good movie because it was.
No, that's all. He just wanted to find a way to bring it into to find a way to be racist about it, and that's as soon as he said that, I saw that was coming. Considering that he's playing a lot of tracks that come out of like 4chan and shit, so.
That's right. All right, Matt. Look, I just had to call again because you know what? This is. I think this is the best episode yet, man. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna hang up right now and listen to some more.
You're to listen to like. I'm probably gonna end up cutting off here in a second, just because there is.
Okay, guys, vote no right now in the chat for Matt to stop. It needs to be. This show needs to be 6 hours. I don't care how he's gonna do it. Donate super chat.
Oh, I'm actually. I appreciate that. I'm actually interested. This one coming is from an international number. I'm actually kind of curious about this one. I'm gonna take this call.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if it's him. It's international. I want to see. I got to see this. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up,
Drop dead,
motherfucker?
you moron.
What's up, you? What's up, bitch?
So why don't you shove it up your fucking ass?
I can't tell which one of you is talking and which one of you is sucking dick. I can't quite tell.
You are.
Oh.
We pay
Oh. Oh, damn. You guys are. What is that? What's on your mind? What you want to talk about?
That was Roseanne Barr. Did you know
Shut the
that?
fuck up! You
That was
fucking
Roseanne
bitch.
Barr.
Yeah,
who's
bitch.
Roseanne Barr?
Did
Are
you
you
know
talking? Are you like? I'm kind of confused because I hear two voices and I can't quite tell which one's the woman.
You are.
Oh,
Are you for? Are you?
That's
for,
a good comeback. That's a good comeback. You do real well on that one, man. You write comedy for a living?
Are you
Or
420?
you just have like fucking
Yeah,
a
dude.
whole fuckload of phone calls?
A little column A and a little column B.
All right. Well, at least you can admit it.
my dick, yeah?
No, no.
Suck my dick and juggle my balls, babe.
my dick, bitch.
This, this is just entertaining at this point. It's a masterclass in how anthropology
want
has
to
failed
suck my
as a
dick?
society.
You want to suck my dick? You motherfucker, bitch, ass fuck.
Oh, see ya. All right. I don't. Okay. There's a. Wow. They have a lot of fucking numbers. Okay. So I'm just going to put this on. There we go. Okay. That should be good now. Yeah, I just know I muted it out. They have a lot of numbers. That's pretty funny, in my opinion. So anyway, I think that's kind of a funny way to end it. I'm gonna have to fucking actually. Okay, there we go. I just fucking closed out of Skype. So there we go. I have no problem with that shit. You can call in through Discord if you go in to the thing. The thing is, Alien. Yeah, they got a lot of numbers, so I couldn't get to all that right away. So yeah, let's see if they keep calling. At least I can actually work on blocking the damn thing, so that's gonna be good. All right. And cool. We're just all right. Okay, I'm just going through and blocking. All right, good stuff. Batman and Robin are the Hulk from 2003. Oh my god. Batman and I think Batman and Robin, to be fair. Just so I think yeah, Batman and Robin's a better movie overall. So I think that's gonna be let's see, anyone here? Okay. Oh, okay. Denzel, I can add you into the if you there you go, man. Are you there? He's in the Discord. Okay. Hold on a second here. Okay. So yeah, because I saw he's in the Discord. Okay, Jesus Christ. All right, you guys can't hear any of this shit, so there's like multiple calls coming in at once. There we go. There's like so many calls. I give them credit for the tenacity, to be honest with you. I give them a lot of credit for the tenacity. So anyway, so Denzel's in the Discord, but he's not talking. So I think I'm going to. Oh, you guys did hear that? That's some fucking crazy shit. All right. So I'm going to call it because I need to go use the bathroom. And if anyone wants to keep chatting, come into the Discord. And the link is in the video description. Thankfully we have a verification room in the thing. Okay. Let's see here. All right. I cannot find. All right, yeah. I'm trying to find like something on here and I can't. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.